Well, you all probably know my name is Terry Suresh. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I have a humble little practice in Southlake, Texas, opening a Rockwall location June 1st. And I practice in Plano, have some satellite offices. And before I start on the nutraceutical and the vitamin talk, Dan wanted me to kind of give a little bit of my background and how I started in a 10 by 10 room in 2008 and now have a multi-7-figure practice all by myself with no database. And it really dovetails nicely on what the Web to Med people brought to you, because that whole social media marketing piece is huge. And if you're not on the social media marketing and all of the things that they're offering and collecting emails in your offices and so forth, you're really behind the curve. So a couple of things that I did that Dan wanted me to share in my office, how I went from no patients to over 5,000 I think now in my database in 4 years, was a lot of networking, a lot of getting out there and getting known. But most of you in here aren't starting from scratch. So the few things that I put in place in my office, I think Chris kind of talked about them a little bit. You guys have also a database. Yes, this is all going to bring you wonderful new business that is cash business, but the majority of you in here have databases in the thousands. So you kind of have your gold right there that you can kind of mine, if you will. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. And the first way is to collect emails and start marketing via social media and things like that. Webinars, I did seminars in my office for the first, I just slowed down on doing those because I do a lot of speaking all over now in front of bigger audiences. But when I did them in my office, I'd have anywhere from 5 people to 20 people, and they just grew and grew and grew, and word of mouth was huge. And word of mouth is really, to this day, what generates most of my business. But now internet, for sure. I'm way up there on Google Places. The things that they're doing to help you get visibility on the web can really exponentially increase the revenue in your practice. So if you have any questions about kind of how I did that and you want to pick my brain later tonight, I'm happy to do that. There's little pearls, and I think I'm going to be doing a webinar on that, and it's going to be recorded and put on the My BioT website. So another great thing that BioT does is continuing education for you guys, and webinars, and not just webinars for patient seminars, but things that you can implement in your practices, because this day and age in medicine, obviously we're all looking for ways to increase our cash flow and cash revenue, so we're not having to work 80 hours a week to just make a living and get by. This is unfortunately the way medicine is going. I have a good friend who, her husband is a cardiothoracic surgeon, and the days of cardiothoracic surgeons making really good money and having nice vacations are over. In fact, he's now considering actually becoming an employee of the hospital, which is a big, hard pill to swallow. But he's even looking at ways to kind of have some additional cash streams in his office, just to be able to maintain not even a huge lifestyle. I mean, they're downsizing so they can keep their kids in private school. It's really sad what's happening. So there's a lot of great ways, and BioT has done a really good job in putting a lot of this ancillary stuff in place that you can have a great passive revenue stream. And part of what I'm about to talk about is that. So we are partnering